Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Michael Fanning, and this is warm up 317. And this morning I was listening to a podcast that I will share in my warm up by Impact Theory, and he was interviewing Dr. Frank Lipman. And Frank Lipman wrote a book about the things we need to do to age well. And it was interesting in there. And also put a book in there that's the Guide to Intermittent Fasting that I'll talk about in a second. So, the thing that he talks about in this podcast is really interesting. He says, it's the small, little profound things that we do daily that have the biggest impact on our livelihood and being healthy into our elder years, right? And when I look at my life list and I look at my legacy statement, one of the things that's really important to me is to just make sure that I'm taking care of myself so that when my kids have kids, I can be enjoying time with them and I can be doing fun things and I can be doing it with a healthy body, with a healthy mind. And early on, I learned, one of the challenges that I had is stomach issues, right? Just gastrointestinal type issues. And I'd go to the doctor and, modern day medicine, they'll give you a test and they go, oh yeah, we'll give you some Prilosec. And when it flares up, take the Prilosec. Well, that's not helping anything. That's not getting to the base of why this is happening. And so in my search for trying to figure out, how I could get better and how I could be more calm and how I could be more relaxed, because, issues like that can get in the way of your work, can get in the way of your family, all that type of stuff. So I took a deep dive into intermittent fasting and I read the book that I'm going to share with you. And then I also looked to see how good is my sleep, what is my sleep quality like? And how am I running my mind every day? And how am I controlling my anxiety? And how am I having more me time and those types of things? And am I doing the things in my day and in my week and in my month that are things that I enjoy, that I have passion about? And if I do more of that stuff, and what was amazing is I started doing those things and I started feeling phenomenally better and not having those issues. But it was getting to the base of that. And what's interesting is just recently I was in a 4-day session and they serve lunch at these things and I don't eat, right? And people come up to me and go, oh my gosh, how can you have this energy and not eat any food? And I said, well, I just do intermittent fasting, I eat it once a day. And a lot of people will then go into their own internal stories. And their story will be, well, I have hypoglycemia, or I have a blood sugar issue, or there's no way I could do that. I tried that and I got really bad headaches, or I just wouldn't have any energy. I have to eat, or there's always a story, and it's fine. I get it. I totally understand it. If there's an issue there and you've tried it and it didn't work for you, I totally get it. But it's amazing how many people will stick with that story and just suffer through whatever it is that's also going to cause them some issues as they get older, or really take time to investigate it to say, hey, maybe there's something here. Maybe there's something that would work. And so in this podcast that I listened to, which I highly recommend you listen to, he just kind of laid out the groundwork to say, here's some things that, if you want to have longevity and you want to be healthy, there's some real basic things you can think about in your world. Number one, what's your sleep quality? I wear this ring. It's called the Aura Ring. And it just tracks my sleep, tracks my heart rate, tracks my body temperature. It tracks what's called my heart rate variance. It tracks my latency time to get to sleep. It tracks my REM sleep. It tracks my deep sleep, and it tracks my light sleep. And what's amazing is when I'm doing the things that I talk about, right? When I'm getting good sleep and I'm doing my mindset stuff and I'm sticking on my fast, it's amazing the quality of sleep that I get. But anyways, he just said, think about this. So think about on any given day, number one, what do you consume? As Americans, we eat a lot of food. We eat way more food than we need. And he said, just think about what you eat and think about the quality of what you eat. And that's a good starting point. The next thing is think about, how are you running this? How much anxiety do you have? How much time do you have to release the stress? Are you releasing the stress loop? And if you're not, there's ways of doing that through meditation, through exercise, right? Through planning your day, not being reactionary, but being proactive. So sleep, what are you eating? The next thing is, how do you run your mind, right? What are your mind exercises? Do you do gratitudes in the morning? Do you journal? Do you have an evening routine? What are you consuming in terms of information, right? Are you reading books? Are you listening to really good podcasts? Or are you watching the news? Are you panicking about what's going on around us? Those things, they're small little things, but guess what? They compound on each other and they build up. And so here's what I would tell you. I'm not an expert on this. I just happen to know that when I started doing some of these things that he talked about, my life started to change for the better, and I started feeling way healthier, and just was more present in the moment, more aware. A lot of things changed. Listen to the podcast, read both the books, The Guide to Intermittent Fasting, if that's something you want to investigate further, and also read his book, Frank Lipman's book, and I'll also put a link to that in there. I'll give you a link to his website. You can find his book on his website. Anyways, hopefully that was helpful. But you guys think about that. Think about not just today. Think about where you're going to be in your future. And are you doing things today that's going to allow that to be fruitful? That's really, if you think about it, because, our days are just miniatures of our lives. That's all they are. And they just compound on each other. Anyways, hopefully that was helpful. Check out the links, and everybody, hey, make it a great day. Be awesome and help somebody. I'll talk to you later.